All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the program. Yes, it is time for Yoga for First Responders. Olivia Kvitny is
and
here.
championship coaches.
And we talk coaching and staying around and doing some yoga with us. He was kind of going, well, you guys got to do yoga. I know you're doing it too.
Might well get a good stretch this morning, so I'm ready.
We just want to make sure you're breathing after Saturday
there we go.
night.
There we
Today
go.
it's yoga for athletes.
There you go. Perfect.
Wow,
See
there
that?
we go. There we go.
I'm so glad you're joining us. Yoga is great for everybody, athletes, first responders, a lot of the times for the same reasons. Especially with football, it's stressful. Even though it's fun, it's the good stress, it's still stressful on the mind and body. As you know, as you guys were talking about waiting like that, that is stressful on the body. So yoga is great for everybody. What I had planned today was to work on the core, actually. Now, a lot of people think that yoga is just about stretching, but even in the postures that are for mobility, core is still required to be engaged. So I'm going to do some of my favorite moves today, and maybe you can pass this on to your team as well.
There you go.
See that?
There you go.
See,
I'm ready.
You're never done learning, are you?
Exactly. I'm telling you.
All right.
I'm
You're
telling
never
you.
done coaching.
These are a couple of my personal favorites. We're going to start in horse pose.
All right, Dixie, you get closer to her.
Okay,
So you can see what's
okay,
going
okay,
on,
got
okay?
it,
Going
got it.
straight for the horse.
It's sort of a big squat. Yeah. And you can start what we call warrior grip. We have the fist in the palm and we put it up towards the chest. Now here's what happens a lot in this posture is people start to lean over as they get more fatigued and my core starts to disengage. So you want to lift up your chest and engage your core like you're wearing a cummerbund, pulling it in. And then of course, what's the most important part of everything we do, Jackie and Lou? Breathing. So feel your ribs, take a big breath in and slowly exhale out. Good, now we're going to add some core to this. Put your hands behind the head, take a giant inhale. As you exhale, right elbow to right knee, crunch the oblique, inhale, lift. I hear you're breathing, that's great. Exhale, I'm serious. Now another thing that people kind of do here, keep going like this, is the other thing. They may not move forward, but they stick their booty back. That's also disengaging the core and can be very harmful for the low back for injury. So you want to pull the navel in towards the spine, flat lower back, and really engage on the core.
Are you tucking in your booty, coach?
Yeah, I'm sucking it in.
All right.
I'm sucking it in.
Get that booty tucked, pull, make sure the shoulders are down. As it gets harder, you don't want to pull those shoulders up. So this is good for the obliques, standing on back up. Let's do a plank pose. Plank pose is very common for athletes as well, right? So putting your hands down, plank this way. I'm going to give you, and I'll do it sideways a little bit so you can see, I want to give a alternative pose here. Here's full plank. If you want, just lower the knees. Now, again, the mistake that people make is pulling their booty back to all fours. This is going to disengage the core. So you want to pull the pelvis down so you're in one line. It's just a modified plank position. So again, you're breathing. You're looking slightly forward.
Coach, you look like a steel beam there, man.
I know. I'm going to do this on top of you now, okay?
A shaking steel beam.
Okay. Now let's up the ante by going to our forearms.
Oh, boy.
There we go. You can do the same thing here. You can modify by lowering the knees. Big breath in. Shaking's actually okay.
Okay, good.
Shaking does not mean give up. Focus the eyes on one point. Engage the legs if they're not on the ground. Big breath in. Good, and lower the pelvis down. A lot of people forget that the core also includes the back of the body, not just the abs. So we're going to engage the low back now. Put your hands next to the rib cage for baby cobra.
Okay.
There you go, lifting the chest up, pushing the feet and legs down. Good, pushing the pelvis down, lifting the chest. Now this is where a lot of people stop breathing. There you go, big breath. Let's up the ante to locust pose. Lift the legs up off the floor. Reach the arms back behind you like you're flying. Big breath, don't hold your breath. Engage the whole back of the body without lifting the shoulders up by the ears. Good. Now when I see you move like that, up and down, I can tell you're breathing. That's really good. Good, bring your hands back down. Let's move through all fours. And we're gonna go to my favorite, putting your booty to one side and your legs around. Okay.
Let me try this, huh?
Here we go.
You're doing good, coach.
This is our
You're doing
favorite now,
so
too.
good. I can hear you breathe. So now this is a variation of boat pose. What boat pose is lifting the legs up this way, putting your arms next to it. So I'm almost in a V position.
Gotcha.
So if you see me from the side, I'm like this. I don't want to round, right? I want to lift the chest
Keep your
up.
core engaged.
Good. And you can extend the legs. Let's try that once, and I'll show you the variation.
If you and I can pull
Let's
this
see.
off.
This is it. But what you're doing now is the first stage. This is
Gotcha.
perfect. Keep your chest lifted. Now, if you want to
It's like
try
we're
to
levitating, Coach.
there it is.
There we
it
go,
is.
right? We're good. Let me get it right.
See how
right
your
there.
core is required?
There we go.
Good. So here's a variation. Bring your feet down. Take the warrior grip again like we started. Now this time you can round the low back a little bit, like a C curve. We're going to inhale here, similar to what we did in horse. You're going to turn so your right elbow moves towards the floor, and inhale back up, exhale and twist. So it takes a little bit more core engagement, but if you see that I'm pulling my low back towards the floor, but I'm still lifting my chest. If I'm all the way upright, I'm not really getting that core engagement. So it's like someone pulled my belly button back, but my chest is still lifted. Are you feeling that at all?
Yes.
All right, good.
Yes.
There you go. Now, when you work on your core specifically in certain postures in yoga, then you can find the core engagement in all yoga postures. So if we want to stand up to finish this off.
Yeah, that was getting tiring.
So now do you kind of feel this, sparked up a little bit,
We're going to be
engaged?
sore tomorrow.
I'm telling you.
So when you do a one-legged mountain pose like this, you may not think one-legged mountain pose.
Are you making this up as you're going along?
No, I'm not. No, so this is mountain pose. This is regular mountain pose.
Right.
We can do that one.
This is actually a great place to start because here, do you think of this as core engagement?
No.
Most people don't. So they're going to let the core release. So you want to feel the core engagement now. Yeah, because if you do a one-legged mountain, then all of a sudden we start losing our balance, right?
Yep.
Because the core isn't engaged. And we stop breathing. So big breaths here. Feel the thigh and the ribs kind of move together so the core is engaged there. Good, lower the leg to the other side. So this is a pose you might not consider a core engagement unless you actively do it. And the more you do those other core exercises, right, where you feel the core engaged first, then you can engage it in more subtle postures like this one.
Your legs shaking like mine?
Yeah,
Coach?
everything's shaking. and it's just the beginning?
This is it. This is just
Wow.
barely the warm-up.
Wow, this is a warm-up.
How about I should come teach your players
Yeah,
sometime.
you should. You should.
I'll get a
should.
little sweat going.
Oh, man.
Yeah?
Well, have
So-
we been here for like an hour? Or
An hour, so you could lower your arms down. So anyway, you start to get that core engaged, then everything you do will start to ignite the core. This is really important for injury prevention, especially in the low back.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That is vital. Yep.
Yeah, but I would like to have, not only do I want to come to you to teach, I want you guys to come to Power Life Yoga with me this month because they are supporting Yoga for First Responders
Nice.
in their 20 for 30 challenge. So all students, they're challenging you to take 20 classes in 30 days.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to try to do it. It's not required, just a fun challenge, but the cool thing is they have 3 nonprofits that they're supporting. They're calling it their Pay It Forward month, and you take a little token and put it in the nonprofit jar that you want to support with your class. And one of them is Yoga for First
Oh,
Responders.
great.
Yeah, so the money that gets raised goes towards departments who can't, we charge a little bit for classes so our teachers can get paid. It's not a lot, but some departments are small, and can't even afford a little price. And we want to make sure everyone gets their yoga.
Now, when it comes to department sizes, what's the smallest department that you had a chance to work with?
Well, my goodness, I was in, was it Hartford?
Hartford is
Hartford?
Hartford's
Yeah.
just south of Des Moines.
Yes, I went and taught for them, and they're, I think, all volunteer. Wonderful people, really open to the yoga, but they're small, right? And so we want to make sure that Carlisle, Norwalk, Hartford gets the yoga that they want. And so money from 20 for 30 challenge at Power Life Yoga will go to that effort.
Okay, let's go to the other extreme then. What's the largest organization that you have worked for?
Austin, Texas, Department of Public Safety. I came in and taught their state troopers, the Recruit Academy, and it was 150 troopers.
Wow.
And I taught that class. So Chicago, we just got back from Chicago Police and Chicago Fire. They're huge agencies as well. Denver, I taught at Denver. Our program, Yoga for First Responders, is in all of Denver.
So if you can handle those guys, you should be able to handle the
I
folks
know,
with
that's
this
what
guy
I'm
right
saying.
here.
Let me at them.
Absolutely.
I think the question is, can we handle her?
That's valid.
If people want
That's
more
valid.
information, where should they go, Olivia, to learn more about what your organization is
You
all
can
about?
go to our website,
Yeah.
yogaforfirstresponders.org, but we're on all the social medias, which is also a great place to see up-to-date information. So follow us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. You'll find us every month at Peachtree Brewery. The summer schedule will be out soon. You'll see me every day this month at Power Life Yoga, and I'll have a guest from Power Life with us next week.
That
Absolutely
works.
wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, so as we leave you, should we What is
All
it?
right.
One horse.
One horse.
The one-legged
It's one
what
horse
now?
coat.
One-legged horse.
No, it's
We'll leave you with a
one-legged
one-legged
mountain.
One-legged
horse.
horse.
Hey, let's go to
Activate
standing
our
here.
core.
Try this.
The one-legged horse.
Standing locust.
What am I doing?
What is this
What
called?
happened? Whoa.
There you
We're
go,
flying. Flying because of a championship with Iowa Barnstormers. More great things heading your way as you're watching CW Iowa Live.